Well, it happens to be 21 minutes after 9 a.m., meaning that it's time for us to check out those moments in current affairs.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, yes. So, let's start where the war is.
Sure.
Bad news first, and then
Okay, we'll work our way.
working our way to our year.
Yeah. Hey, Johnson.
Just saying. So, in Warsaw, the Warsaw mayor, Rafał Trzaskowski, on Monday said a fenced-up compound once used by Russia and now apparently an empty has been seized. Trzaskowski said the property would be made available to the Ukrainian community to possibly house refugees taken in by Poland in the wake of Russia's invasion. The apartment buildings built by Russia in the 1970s have been at the center of a dispute with Moscow that lasted decades. Trzaskowski said the compound had been discovered or recovered after being unlawfully occupied by the Russians. He said the process had been given added urgency after Russia's February 24th invasion of the Ukraine. It is extremely symbolic that we are closing this long process now in the age of the Russian aggression, Trzaskowski tweeted. We've taken back the so-called spy nest and wanted to hand it over to the Ukrainian guests, the mayor told reporters using a Polish nickname, Speskiowo. That's as best as I can.
No, I understand and I can identify very well. Yes.
Polish does have like SZCW.
One after the other. There's no vowels
is
in
that
between.
sh or skr or?
I only know Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia. CZ. Yeah, what? CZ is
Island.
Yeah,
Ultinina. Czech Republic. CZ. Island. So Trzaskowski had himself entered the premises with a bailiff and the Ukrainian ambassador to Poland. A diplomat or a Russian diplomat was also at the scene to protest the move. Just one diplomat. Imagine. Like, I stand for Mother Russia. This is not right.
On my own.
On my own. I will stand here and protest. The Warsaw mayor posted pictures of the interior saying it had been stripped bare. The compound was built in a land swap agreement between Poland and the Soviet Union in 1974. So, that's interesting though. So the Russians had a whole apartment building full of spies.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they were living here.
Yes.
And you knew that.
Sure.
Now it's a thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now it's a thing. Like, oh dear.
Yeah.
There's a Russian spy camp in the country. We need to discard of it, dispose. And of course, the Russians were like, no, why are you destroying the building? Vladimir is not going to approve. Anyway, speaking of epic Stalingrad type moves, the High Court on Monday granted former President Jacob Zuma a postponement on his corruption trial until May. The court found that Zuma has the right to use all of his opportunities to appeal and that doing so automatically suspends the trial. The state says Zuma is abusing the court process. The National Prosecution Authority is arguing very strongly that his latest postponement application is a continuation of a Stalingrad defense aimed at solely at delaying the case from ever proceeding. He is under the care of military doctors. His lawyers are again raising his ill health, as a potential reason for why there should be reconsideration granted to the dismissal of his special plea.
Yeah.
For lawyers to submit that the judge has to be aware of the unrest in July is truly remarkable. The fact that it was raised casts a cloud of intimidation over this entire matter. Jacob Zuma will be able to keep kicking the can further down the road until it goes over a cliff. If that's not a metaphor.
Listen, I'm not surprised. Because even yesterday, you know, we were obviously anticipating this appearance or the trial to begin. But obviously,
jokes on you. The
I
what
mean,
to
there
what?
was like
The
a
trial.
slight percentage, considering the fact that people were onto him. But then again, we were onto him though. You know, the delaying takes trying to get the prosecutor removed from the case, all sorts of things. Now he's under military care, military doctor's care.
Oh yes, because he's on medical parole.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
He's on medical parole. He's a former president, so the state has to guard him twice.
I know, understandably, so I get that. But then, how long are we going to prolong this? How long are we going to prolong the situation? As long as we can.
Well, I mean, they have to give him the best health care possible.
Because he is the former president.
And he's under the state's care. And, you know, you don't go on medical parole unless technically you're on your last legs.
Was he?
According to the state.
True.
And the Department of Corrections, which I, you know, have no leg to stand on as far as arguing with or disputing.
Who are we?
So, I mean, there's that. Also, it's pretty cool to observe like an old guy just like sticking it to whoever, like never say die, on your marks. Like, whoo! No wonder he played goalkeeper on Robben Island.
Hi, man.
Think about it. No wonder he played goalkeeper on Robben Island. Like, who could have scored on him? Such defense. Anyway, no salary, mayoral car, bodyguards, or petrol for me, says the new Karoo mayor, Gayton McKenzie.
No benefits, basically.
Basically trying to lead by example. I think this is his first bid to eventually running for president one day. Says he doesn't want anything from the state. He just wants to lead.
Okay, I mean, we'll see. I want to stay close to this one, especially if it does happen. That I want to see how long it will last.
In his maiden speech delivered after being elected unopposed on Monday, McKenzie said, "I came here to come and give. This is why I will donate 100% of my salary. While the enemy is busy checking which land they can build, I'm going to give 100% to start fixing the pools for our children." The pools. The Patriotic Alliance leader with the gold mayoral chain draped around his neck. And listen, that chain is so dope. I'd rock that.
The mayoral one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't rock it with a suit. Like, I'd dress it down a bit.
But then how else would you wear it as a mayor?
It depends on what the mayoral dress code is according to the code of conduct.
Listen, I've never seen a mayor who's not in a full suit unless he's off work, like he's off duty.
That's because you haven't seen True as a mayor.
Oh,
that's the thing. You would see me rock that down.
I know with the president, there's this thing with a red tie.
Not necessarily red, but
I've noticed though that a lot of the time,
red psychologically is supposed to be a power color. So whenever the president has to make a serious announcement or whatever, then they wear a red tie. They wear blue when there's been a tragedy and they want to keep peace. They wear yellow if there is potential of violence and they want to calm it down. Sure. It's all psychological. It works.
Does it work? Does it work?
When's the last time we went to war?
Okay. Oh, so kudos to the ties.
So Gayton McKenzie says, or Mayor McKenzie says, "I will not have a mayoral vehicle. The mayoral vehicle must be sold and an ambulance must be bought with the funds." Your boy going all out ham. "I will not claim for any petrol or expenses. I want to cost this municipality nothing," he said. Adding that he also did not want bodyguards. McKenzie said even the food eaten at his inauguration had not cost the municipality a cent because he paid for everything from his personal funds. The Patriotic Alliance deputy head, Kenny Kunene, took to Twitter to congratulate Mackenzie. The two are reformed former convicts who have made moves in the world of politics. Their party emerged as a kingmaker when it entertained or entered into a coalition with the ANC after Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba resigned in 2019. Regarding his past, Mackenzie has always insisted it remains in his past. They can call us criminals. Yes, we did commit crimes 3 decades ago. We went to jail. We paid for our crimes. We share our riches because we know it is not to it. We know what it is not to have. Mackenzie said in a post on his Twitter page. As for paying for the food at your inauguration, I know you don't want to cost the state anything, but yeah, Chongi Saman Lando.
But also, is it going to make that much of a difference? True.
That's what I'm saying. And then, so if you become president, so all the food eaten around the country that day is also going to come out. I'm just saying the practical realities. And good that you don't want to cost the state anything.
Great.
Kudos
to you.
Yeah. Kudos, bro. But hey, this thing of dipping into your own pocket, is gonna for fear of not wanting to start rumors.
Of course,
it's not going to set the right kind of precedent. Because then you never really know if that money.
Ooh, got you. Yeah,
your wallet must remain closed in issues of the state.
Sure.
Because you don't want to mix ideas that will give ideas. This just from me. But I get it, and I guess in the same breath, which is why I don't want to sound like it, where they say no good deed goes unpunished. That's not the case. Mayoral vehicle for an ambulance, okay. But for instance, if they feel like you're not doing your duty properly as a mayor, and when they decide to say maybe a vote of no confidence, these are all possibilities. It's politics. So what does the incoming mayor, what vehicle will they be using? An ambulance?
Because keep in mind, I mean, if we don't utilize those funds, you see now that he's saying he's going to dip into his personal account, that essentially means that that money that was allocated for him needs to be allocated to another item. So what happens with the next? He's going to use an ambulance. He's going to need to budget, cater for his inauguration.
Where does he sit in the ambulance in this case?
He must lie on the stretch.
Or does he lie on the gurney and then his bodyguards around him? Like,
look, remember, as bodyguards.
Look, talking about the incoming, if it ever happens, the bodyguards is also or like how a wife does if an ambulance picks.
Once.
Okay. No, but I can't, man, guys. It's these are things we said. Current affairs. Siba's favorite story coming right up in just a second. 26 minutes before 10 a.m. Good morning if you've just joined us. It is Tuesday, the 12th of April, 2022. And I'm not alone in studio. We are analyzing all these harsh realities with none other than Usiba. Parents whose children are among 11 pupils from Randfontein High School who fell sick. Sick. After eating space cakes, have accused the school of dragging its feet in investigating how the cakes got to be sold on its premises. I've got a pretty good idea. Lunchtime behind the cafeteria, that's the how.
I mean, maybe it wasn't even hidden.
You wouldn't even need to keep them hidden, because who's gonna...
I'm selling brownies, or I'm selling cupcakes.
Or I'm not.
Ooh.
The parents say they also want to know where the teachers were when the cakes were being sold and why the suspended pupil was allowed to sell at the school.
Suspended pupil.
Haven't you kind of figured it out already? What do you mean where the teachers were? I'm not by any means taking away liability of the school, but where do you think the teachers were? Have you spoken to the other child's parents? Well, like, what were they thinking helping that child Or maybe they didn't know
Maybe they
either.
didn't know.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Wow. A meeting was held at the school on Monday between the parents of the affected pupils, the principal, the school social worker, and the officials from the Gauteng Education Department. A parent who cannot be named to protect the identity of her 17-year-old son said the school told them the incident was under investigation and a disciplinary hearing against the suspended matric pupil would take place within 7 days. She says, "I'm still angry. I will only feel better when I see action being taken. The learner must reveal the truth, and we want to know where the teachers were when the cakes were being sold to our children, since selling at school is not allowed." The school said it did not see the suspended learner selling on school premises, and when they searched him, he did not have anything on him. That is why they are telling us the school should have handled this much better. The principal was saying she did not call the parents earlier because she wanted to contain the situation. Contain it how? When children are sick. She should have called us or used the school WhatsApp group chats to tell us what was going on. She did not do that, she said. Let's analyze.
Okay.
So, school did know that space cookies were sold. School knows who sold them.
Sure.
School saw that kids were getting sick. School tried to contain it without involving the parents or using any of the communication tools that they have to their disposal. Right. Parents get wind. Parents also get wind that the child was suspended, who allegedly sold these things. Parents also find out that when he was searched, the child didn't have anything on them. Parents also found out that the school did not see him selling anything on the premises. Therefore, they couldn't be very sure, except for the word of those who got sick, of what the lowest common denominator in this 11-person sickness that is floating around the school.
11-person sickness.
Yeah. What happens now?
There's so many factors into the story. And I think one of the biggest factors is simply that this one that is said or accused to have sold these baked goods had nothing on him. So he could easily argue that ma'am.
Ma'am,
suspended.
I think his only downfall is that loyalty that he's expecting from his clients, his alleged clients. Who I guess have all already realized that in order to finish matric this year, if it means leaving one of us behind, because there's always those things. But I need to trying to protect Lamfana. Yeah, Muslim. Lamfana. Are you willing? And the Bekutheni, Kamalini food. Once all these details come out.
But also, ndithengile true. Like ndithenge, and chances are ndithenge ndiyaz.
And why was it a select group of people?
I think this is how it, because obviously, the headline makes it sound like it was quite a large number.
Oh no,
of students.
it was
But you're talking about 11.
11.
So you're talking about 11 students who are babes. They definitely knew that.
They knew. They planned for it. They saved for it. They budgeted for it.
I think one or two.
One of you dropped the ball.
Experienced,
experienced an
unexpected result in terms of
unplanned,
not the usual,
an unplanned
not
reaction.
Not the usual reaction,
that you may have been expecting or were briefed about or whatever the case, and then it got out of hand.
I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened.
Like, guys, make it stop. Guys, make it stop. Just make it stop. Also, yeah. Shame. This is why some things are just better left alone. We won't get in trouble. I won't get anyone else into trouble. I might get to focus on my books. I xabanisi ekhaya with now all of the repercussions. Because now, hey, there's this grounding which is gonna happen. And you've left yourself so open for all of that now, because like I can't write ozayithetha ekhaya anytime soon. Within a month or so, like your opinion means nothing in this household because into yaziyo and these space cookies. But uzawuthula ke wena.
Thule ke
wena because
so a space cookie.
Uphinde watya.
Sidilishana nawe siba okanye sidilishana nesa space cookie. So you never hear the end
of
it.
Lord, listen, a good month. You get a parent who goes grocery shopping, comes back with like real biscuits and says, "Nazge cookies and this thing." Abantwana bami. Is this thing or upper shop, not a space? 18 minutes before 10 o'clock. I'm just saying.
Man.
So, Nigeria, which has, I think, the biggest population of in a country, upper in South, well, in Africa as a continent. Many subscribers in Nigeria are disappointed with government directives to disconnect their lines. Over 72 million subscribers in Nigeria were recently barred from using their lines. This comes as government's directive became effective on the 4th of April. The affected subscribers are worried that they could not make outgoing calls from their mobile phones because it had been deactivated. Following the directives, telecommunications companies in Nigeria have commenced barring outgoing calls of subscribers who have yet to link their national identification numbers, the NIN, with their subscriber identification modules and SIM cards. Nigeria has a total of 198,127,431 individuals who are active subscribers across lines, across the networks, as at February this year. But the Minister of Communications and Digital Technology or Economy, Dr. Issa Ibrahim Pantami, who gave the order to deactivate all unlinked SIM cards, said before the order was given a few days ago, 125 million subscribers have had their NINs submitted for immediate linkage, verification, and authentication. Given the total number of 198 million active lines across networks and the 125 million subscribers that have submitted their national identification numbers, it shows that over 73 million active lines have not been submitted for linkage, and they must have been affected by the federal government's order.
Sure.
That's a Rika funding. Sanizenza special. Rikani. No, it's simple. To find any ID numbers there, obviously we're gonna need a proof of address. Just something
quick.
Ezinye zathi asoze bandenze loo nto mna. Jonga yini na is aram. Pofke, it's just been suspended. It's not like your line has been cancelled.
Forever.
Kayo rikarisha ndanga. Ubuye xa so right.
Yeah.
Right.
The inconvenience, though. The inconvenience.
I was to call back. You can't receive texts. You can't do anything. No outgoing calls. No incoming calls.
I can't imagine.
Well, take your ID, go to your nearest center, and just go get the things done. Simple. But 198 million people.
Yeah.
That's what, that's 4 times South Africa. Or almost 4 times South Africa, because we at about a young 60 meter now. And of course growing.
And growing. I was about to say and growing.
And growing. And it means we're going into winter, so growing.
No, I don't understand. Sure. I don't understand.
Okay. Just a lot of activities happen in the winter that add to the increase in population months after the fact.
Okay.
So given the winter that we're going into, there's a very real possibility
sure
that the population might increase Give it what?
Nine.
In between 9 and 12 months from now,
Okay.
we should see a spike in the population.
It's significant.
And fortunately, the children won't be called Kovivi or yeah. What the names that might be used will be related to whatever's on the news or sparking, because you know us.
Yeah.
You know us. Around Christmas, you get a lot of Christian, like names like Christian, Savior. You know almost.
Maybe even Joseph. Joseph. That's the father. It's the father of Jesus.
One of them.
Oh no, you did not.
But it's true.
I get you.
It's true.
But you're not gonna call your child God. Direct, straight up.
No, you don't have to. You just teach them to live
accordingly.
Yes.
Got you.
I'm not talking about the lifestyle. I'm talking about the names.
Got you.
Anything that happens in South Africa comes with, like for instance, if we discover the value of rooibos suddenly skyrocketed, and we know that it only grows, like the real rooibos only grows in South Africa.
Sure.
Surely in the Western Cape somewhere you'd find Rooiza. And this is just because when we see value to something, I'm not talking about my money, but if we see the value of something indigenous, then we go for it.
Absolutely.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, look, I'll give you the perfect example while we're on the names. Don't we have people whose IDs say doctor? And I don't mean like people, I'm talking about infants whose IDs say doctor, others say professor. Those are parents' wishes for you.
I know that very well.
Right?
I know.
Now, say you become, I don't know, a soccer player.
Doctor of football.
You can't be off.
There's nothing
what else? That's why they have other nicknames.
Sure.
Like 16V and Scar. Yes, because technically that wasn't your thing. Anyway, 12 minutes, Siba, before 10 a.m. Good morning if you've just joined us. This is Moment of Truth. Moments in current affairs. And apparently moments in naming South Africans born in the next 9 to 12 months.
Definitely looking forward to it.
That's how the population increases. That's all I was trying to say. And it might be your year next year, so you never know. Good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what all the
From the states of Africa, we've got you covered.
You're listening to the sound.
Sound good together, huh?
On KNR.
And now, South African music at its best.
On KNR.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what all the
From the states of Africa, we've got you covered.
You're listening to the sound.
Sound good together, huh?
On KNR.